Good morning, viewers. Welcome back to another episode of the Kay-Steph Group Morning Show. I am your host, Naya Anozie, aka Naya of the Budge. And on this show, we share expert insights on real estate matters. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, we break down market trends, we share valuable tips, and help you make smart property decisions. On the show with me today is a pastor who is an expert in the real estate industry. And today we're going to be finding out what exactly inspired him to enter the real estate industry. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Pastor Francis Ella. You're welcome to the show, Pastor Francis.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. And you look amazing, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Love the fit.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, so this question is not just me. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering or maybe have curiosity about how pastors juggle both pastoral work and then their business outside being the church. So before I delve into my main curiosity, I want to know what inspired you to venture into the real estate industry and how did the journey begin?
Okay, real estate has always been my passion from the beginning. But I didn't know how to go about it. In fact, my idea of real estate was maybe just building and then you put it for rentals and all that, and then people pay rent and all that. You build, people build hostels and all that. That was my idea of it.
Okay.
But I knew that I was not getting satisfaction from. That was not the idea of what I want, right, and all that, until I met some key people who opened me up to the real estate proper, and then from there we began the journey.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I always know, you see, most of the time, it is not everybody wants to succeed. But knowing how to succeed is a key. A lot of people don't know what to do, all right? I wanted to succeed, but I didn't know what to do to succeed until I met some key people who pointed me to the direction, and then from there, you know, we are where we are today.
Great. From what we've learned so far, I mean, this past few months, we've learned that in real estate, it is important that you have somebody who guides you through the journey. So you don't just start on your own. So from your experience, I can tell that that is very, very key. So now, personally, I wonder how pastors are able to manage being a pastor and their business outside pastor, because I know that the pastoral work is very demanding. I mean, you have to be present, not just for yourself, for the people you're pastoring. And you also have to make a living. You don't just dwell on what you, maybe, I don't know if you're earning from whatever you're paid in church. I don't know how it works generally, but I feel like apart from that, there's something that you need to do. And you need to be able to be present in both places. So how do you balance being a pastor and being a real estate expert? Because both of them are demanding. How do you work the magic?
Well, you know, permit me, you know, the Bible said, something about, you know, there's time for everything. So I understood that, and I tried to, you know, create time for the work I'm doing. I mean, the church work, I create time for it, and I also create time for the business that I do. So I don't allow the business time to enter into the church time. When it's church time, I leave the business and I focus on the church, and then when it's business time, I leave that and then I focus on the business.
Okay.
And secondly, I've been able to put in structures on ground to be able to, even if I'm not there, I can control things from where I am and make sure everything is going on well and all that. So I think it's been good so far.
Oh, I can imagine. Wow. So even, I know it's demanding, yes, but there are challenges, and there are people that would want to do it, but there are restrictions because they don't know how to go about it, or they don't know where to start from. So how can you advise pastors or people who are trying to venture into this industry? How can they manage and structure their schedules and all of that to be able to strike a balance?
Okay, you know, there's one thing about business. A lot of people think doing business is all about having money. You may not even have money to start. The greatest resources that I think is having people, not just money. If you have people, I think that's just the game, right? So if anything you are trying to venture into, there are people who've been there before.
True.
So once you have them, people who are there before you, who are succeeding in the thing, you connect with them, it makes the job easier.
Easier for you.
For instance, you see a man who is already succeeding in the thing, there are things he's doing, all right, that is making him to succeed. Okay, so you must have somebody you're observing, all right. You must have somebody who mentors you. Okay, and then you must humble yourself to be able to come, no matter how it is, to humble yourself to come under somebody to learn. So you have to let go some things. If you're not ready, to learn, if you're not ready to take some things, you may not be able to do it. So you have to humble yourself under whosoever it is that have gone ahead of you. Then you learn some tips, and then it makes the job easier than going to start from the scratch and all that.
Very, very true. Thank you so much, sir. Because the way things are going now, depending on being a pastor is not the way to go. Most people are even opening churches for business purposes, which isn't right. So it's better that you're doing that, and then you have something else that's sustaining you, so that you don't crash being a minister and being a businessman.
Let me say this quickly. I am somebody who don't believe that I should feed on church or church resources and all that. So I've always believed that I should do something. I want to be independent and all that. And then it will make you have respect, so you can even preach what you're supposed to preach. You can tell them what God really wants you to tell, because some people will not want to preach because he doesn't want to offend people who donate, who bring money and all that. But in this case, we do what we do, and we don't have to depend on people. You have to preach what God wants you to preach. You don't have to dip your hand into the resources of the church to sustain yourself and sustain family. It makes the job easier. If you try to do something extra, it will help you. You'll be more stabilized, and I think that's it.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. That's very, very insightful, and I learned a lot today. Thank you so much. At least now I've satisfied my curiosity and that of some of the viewers. All right, you heard from him. Being a pastor doesn't stop you from venturing into other business that you find purpose in, things that makes you fulfilled. You can be a pastor and also be a businessman, or whatever it is that you want to do. You don't have to dip your hand in the church's purse to sustain yourself and your family. And if ever you're experiencing any kind of challenges, you're advised today to seek for people who are already in that line of business that you're doing and get advice from them, and it will help you prosper. So for that to happen, you need to kill pride. Pride comes before fall. Thank you so much, sir, for all of the insights that you shared with us today. God bless you, and thank you for being on the show with us this morning. We hope to have you here again.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I hope to be here again.
Thank you, sir. Okay, it's a wrap, and we have come to the end of this session of the Kay-Steph Group Morning Show. I am your host with the most, Naya Anozie. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Turn on your post notification bell so that you get notified whenever we post a new video. And do leave a comment on the comment section if you have questions regarding this. With that, we've come to the end of the show. See you here, same time, same place next week. Bye-bye.